Hello, hello. Welcome to another episode here at Happiness is a Healthier Habit with me. I am Jackie Poole, where we chat about mom life, weight loss, habits, and everything in between. And this is such a special date that this episode is rolling out. So happy birthday to my hubby. He is 1 year older, and so this month is bringing us lots of good vibes because we are both April babies. And so we are going on a birthday trip, and we'll definitely talk to you about it next episode. But happy birthday to you, and I hope you have a great day. So if you're listening, I love you. And so let's begin. Today's episode is going to be about self-care and making better decisions for ourselves, because we stay to our truths and what we believe, and we say one thing and we want something else, and it really doesn't make sense, right? When we say we don't have time, I can't, it's basically saying like, I don't want to. And I know it can sound a little harsh because it's funny, when we want to do things, we will make time. I have a cousin. Her birthday is in April too, and she's April 13th, and she is always busy. She has, I don't know how she does it. She has church, she has workouts, she has, grandbaby. She has all of these things, and she's always late. She's always doing something for somebody. And so I know that if you want to do something, if you want to make a priority for yourself to, take some time for some self-care and, able to take care of you, because, those decisions are going to be important. And it's not based on what somebody else didn't do for you, or, you not making time for it. What I'm trying to go is you really just have to make better decisions, but put it on top, put it first, whatever it is that you're trying to do for yourself. And then we're going to go through some myths and some things that you can do for making that self-care, because you are important, you are worth it, and you need it. Things get really stressful really quickly, and it's just part of being a mother. Sometimes you get super stressed out. Like, for example, yesterday, I was perfectly fine all day, and then like the kids got home, and I just got into this like zone where I was just like, everybody leave me alone, go outside. They were all yelling and running around. I'm like, no, go outside. So, sometimes you need like 5 minutes of just like breathing and being by yourself. And, if you don't have that time for yourself, it's going to really creep up on you and manifest in some ways that you might not like. And so I have a quote from James Clear. I love his book from Atomic Habits. And if you're really trying to build habits and develop those things, then these are very great book to start if you're really trying to develop these habits. And so he says to really focus with starting with eliminating and improving with concentration, and compound with the continuation. And the self-care takes effort. It doesn't just happen. The body and the mind to be maintained needs to be like a garden. Without effort, you pull out the weeds when they pop up and overtake everything. With a bit of constant pruning, the results can be beautiful. And that's such a beautiful quote from him that I get on his emails, because it's true. I am constantly for my front yard to look beautiful. I'm constantly picking out the weeds and taking care and cleaning up the the trash that flies. Sometimes there's a lot of construction and there's a lot of trash that flies out. And so I'm constantly cleaning that and making sure it looks nice because I want it to look nice. I want to make that a priority. That's a presentation. And it's kind of a reflection of you. If you take time for yourself, it's going to reflect not only on the outer part. You might have more energy, you might be glowing, it's not just doing things like your nails and hair, but it's from within. You have more peace, you have more tranquility, you have more patience. So definitely having those things to do for yourself will be so great for when you are feeling stressed or when you are feeling like things aren't going your way. So let's talk about the 6 myths that I have for you today. So first, we're going to talk about it's selfish. It is not selfish. Know that nobody is going to come out of their way and help you just because, right? No one will come and take care of you. If there's like a war going on the other side of the world and your toothache is like super bad, you're not worried about that war. You're worried about your toothache and how bad it's hurting, right? So you're going to go and try to fix your toothache. You're not going to be worried about whatever's going on because that pain is to you and you have to focus on you to fix it because you can't do anything else. So it's similar to that, right? So no one is going to come take care of you. Not even your parents. Me moving out here by myself, I have to figure things out on my own. Like if a child is sick or, I talked to you about going to the urgent care the other day and, I have to figure things on my own. I can't call my mom anymore and be like, hey, I'm going to drop off the kids. I'll be right back. I have to figure things on my own and really communicate with my family of what I want to do, what I'm trying to do. And so again, it is not selfish. It is part of you being human and you need that time alone, whatever it is and whatever you want to do. But you have to focus on yourself and make yourself a priority because if you don't take care of you, your kids aren't going to be able to, have a wonderful mom that's, healthy and, helpful and be able to do all these things. So you have to come first. Just like in the airplane, when the mask drops, they tell you have to put on the oxygen mask first before you go out and put everybody else's mask on because eventually you will run out of oxygen if you don't put that mask on. So that is a great analogy to this. It is not selfish. So please don't think that or have any guilt that you are doing something bad because it ultimately is going to benefit everybody around you as well. Myth number 2 is no one understands me or no one wants to help. So this came about because sometimes we're like, well, I can't, I don't have time. My husband is at work or, excuses are always going to come into play. And so this is where habits come in, where we make that time for yourself. Again, I talk about it in my program, being a morning person and being the first one awake before everyone is, just so I have that me time. And so you have to communicate that. You have to communicate to your husband or your significant other or whoever is, part of your world to let them know like, hey, I can't do this today. I need some alone time. I need to go out for a walk. Like, hey, can you take care of this? I just can't right now. And, we have those days, especially, again, our hormones are always fluctuating throughout the month, every month. And so it's different every single day. And so there's days that you can tolerate more than others, that you might feel more discomfort than others. And if you're alone and have kids running around, like I mentioned, it can definitely be overwhelming. And so having a conversation with your kids, if they're old enough to understand, like, hey, please go play outside. please no more running outside. And, let them know like, hey, mommy's tired. Mommy's going to do this or that. Or, just have a game plan of what you're going to do. Like, hey, if I tell my son that he likes to know what we're eating for breakfast for like the whole week. So if he is that way, so it's a way for you to communicate what you want to them, right? He's 8, so it can definitely be a little bit more difficult for the younger ones, but it's kind of the same concept. And you have to figure out where your help is, where your support is, and let them know like, hey, I really need that time for myself. I just need to go out and, have 5 minutes, or I need a night out to myself, whatever it is. But communication is very important to your support group, to your group. And so even just having somebody to talk to about what's going on will definitely help release that tension and that stress that you might be carrying on, that you might not be able to talk about on a regular basis. Or, again, like I've mentioned, like me and my husband don't even go on dates anymore. Like we have to call grandpa or somebody to come and babysit here because it gets a little tricky, but we make it happen. We manage it. And, we've been more intentional of communicating and having conversations because, we can get into that routine of him going to work, me going to sleep, and not really having conversations or talking at all for like days. So again, communication is really important here for you asking of what you need and what you are willing to do in that time of need. And so myth number 3 is there is no time. I got no time. I have to do this. I have to do that. I've heard it before. And again, if you switch it to it's not a priority, it sounds very different. It kind of sounds like a lot more harsher when you say it that way, right? It's not a priority for me to go work out. It's not a priority for me to get good sleep. It's just not. Like when you say it that way, it kind of makes you think again. And I've mentioned this before because when you say there's no time, I mean, there's plenty of time. If you were able to scroll on social media for a few minutes, that was your time. If you were watching TV, that was your time. So, sometimes we can trying to intertwine these other habits that we have that we might not realize. So sometimes we have to sit and kind of see where we are spending our time and really evaluating our actions, because if we really want to make time for ourselves and making better decisions, this is going to help. And just sitting down, where's your time? I love having a journal where I have like my time set, and some months I'm really good about planning my day of what I'm going to do, and some months I'm not. Some days I'm not, and that's okay, but the intention still carries on. And so I'm more intentional to be like, okay, I'm not going to try to be on my phone that much today and things as such. So trust me when I tell you there is time. You are just not putting your best effort towards it. So try to see where you can do it, even if it's like, again, I wake up before everybody else does just because I like sitting in my computer and not worrying about, kids waking up or things like that. I wake up early enough for me to work, sit an hour to myself, do my stretching, and then, I go up and get ready. So that is my me time. That is where I have my tea in the mornings, or my water, and just kind of be by myself in silence. And it's really nice to have, but I've established that routine, and it's something that's worked for me for so long that I love doing it. And you can even switch it to the nights. Again, I put my kids to bed like super early because I go to sleep with them, but that could be your me time, putting the kids down earlier so you can have that alone time and use it wisely, right? And the more you plan out and try to make an effort to make this time for yourself, it's going to translate to even more time. You're going to have like this found time to do other things. Maybe you've been wanting to read a book. Maybe you've been wanting to catch up on this, show or something like that. But planning things out will definitely translate into more time. And so number 4 is I have to do self-care perfectly or not at all. And so what this means is like, okay, I want to get my hair done. I want to get my nails done. I don't got time. I can't do that. I don't have time for self-care. It doesn't have to be perfect all the time. So this is what I mean with that. I love doing facials on myself and things like that. And so sometimes I don't have that luxury of being by myself or doing that, or there's always something going on. There's always a child in need of me. And like today, after we work out, after we have breakfast, we went into the shower, and what I did is I washed my face and put on my scrub mask. And I left it on for a good 15, actually it was 25 minutes because I dyed my hair in the bathroom while my son was having a bath. And so that was my me time. He was happy. He's content. He's not bothering me. He's asking me questions, and I'm over here with my music. And that was just a perfect way. He's there, but I'm still taking care of myself. I'm still, doing my facial and, doing something for myself that's going to make me feel good. And I like to do these facials like 2 times a week or 3 times a week if I want to, but I just do that. And today I actually had extra time because I was dyeing my hair. So that was really nice. So I was doing my facial, I was doing my hair, and my son was there. And so it was actually would I rather be by myself? Yes, but it's not possible. So the next best thing is just for him to be content, right? And then for me to do what I want to do for myself. And that was just a perfect way for me to get those done and him be happy doing his own thing while me watching him as well. And so that's what I mean by it doesn't have to be perfect. So give yourself some wiggle room to work with the time or the situation that you have. Things will get better as they get older too. One of the most important things that you could take as well as for balancing your overall health and well-being and everything basically is having this optimal gut health. It's really the master of everything in your body. It affects your brain, it affects your cognitive health, it affects your ability to lose weight. It affects your vaginal health. It affects your immunity, your skin, your hormones. I mean, it's really the master of it all. And so having optimal gut health and having a great microbiome that's filled with great bacteria and density. And it's not only going to be sometimes food is not enough. The way our absorption and digestion is not enough. And so we need to bring the supplements in. And so I am such a fan of the Trebiotic Access because it's really one of a kind. It's a beetlet delivery system, and you can literally add it to your shake, to any food. I love it in my oatmeal, or especially in a spoonful with the tree trim. That tastes like a chocolate crunch bar. It is so good, and it's really going to help improve your overall gut health. Not only does it have a prebiotic, it has a probiotic, it has a postbiotic. So it has all 3 in one. So you don't have to worry about any more things to take. This is really great for optimal health and well-being, and really gut is where it starts. And so if you're trying to get your hands on this awesome one-of-a-kind Trebiotic Access technology, you can get $10 off your first order with my referral link, and that will be in the show notes. So can't wait for you to try it. And going back to the show. Nutrigenomics is really how nutrition affects our genes. And I wanted to talk to you today about this because we are talking about supplements, and sometimes we make recommendations that are kind of for everyone. But how do you know your genes? Do you have any lab work or any genetic testing? I can help you personalize your nutrition and your supplements with that information. We can break it down into a simple protocol that gives you all of this information, and it's just one click away. You can schedule an appointment with me at JackiePools.com, and we can definitely get that information rolling. We can get you a personalized protocol to get you going to a healthy life. Number 5 is going to be, I've tried it and it doesn't work. And so sometimes, yes, you have to try things and they might not work. You can plan for it and things fall through. And that's just, again, life is not perfect. Things are always going to be the way you thought they were. And so you have to have, again, patience, but also you have to try and figure out what you're wanting to do. Any small win that you can get will definitely lead to large ones. So for example, if you're just trying to be going on walks in the morning by yourself and, you tried going on Monday and then you didn't go because a kid woke up sick. And, there's always going to be things that are going to be bumpy. It's not going to be perfect, but, really celebrate those small wins. Like today, like I said, today I did my face mask and it worked out really good. And so I don't have that luxury of going to a spa or, other places because I have my son. And so, I felt really good. My skin felt great. I washed my face. I did all the things. And, that could lead up to me feeling better and doing more things with my kiddos. And not even that, like, let's say you really want to start, exercising, and you said you were going to exercise 4 days a week this week and you only got 2. Well, be proud of the 2 days that you did, right? And let's see if you can do another 2 days next week, or, always celebrate those small wins that you get, because ultimately, if you do it long enough, if you're doing consistent enough, they're going to lead to bigger wins and larger ones. And so things are going to start rolling a little bit easier and, better for you, as well as it's going to become easier for you to prioritize those things. It's not going to become as hard. You won't have to push yourself as much, and you'll start, making better decisions, easier, instead of thinking them through or really planning them out, or it's, really hard and you're saying that you can't and you're kind of forcing yourself to do it. It's going to get easier and it's going to get better the more you do it. But again, you have to celebrate those small wins. So don't doubt those 2 times that you went, walking or whatever. It's really great that you got that done. And so celebrate those small wins, celebrate those things that you accomplish, because those are going to lead you to bigger things and more motivation to get you going and keep you going. And so the last one is going to be myth number 6, which is too expensive. And that, my friend, is the biggest one that I have, because I used to think that self-care is like, okay, I'm going to go get my nails done, or I'm going to go get my hair done. And like my hair, when I would go to my hair, stylist back in Houston, I would literally spend the whole day there. And he was amazing at what he did. But honestly, in the back of my head, like, I paid great money to sit here, but I'm like, I'm here all day and I have my kids at home. Like my mind was like, okay, I should be going now. So it doesn't have to be luxurious. It doesn't have to be expensive. Having some alone time, like I've mentioned, I'm a big fan of the mornings. And so having that alone time for me in the morning to start definitely sets my tone and my mood for the day. Being in nature and going on trails with the family, that's just being out there. It's really great to be outside, getting some sun. That's always going to impact your mood. And so walking, exercising, alone time, breathing techniques, there's so many things that you can do that are free. So don't complicate them. Don't make them hard. Make them, if that's something that, like a spa, you want to be going to the spa or, getting your eyebrows done. If that's something that's a little more complicated for you, then just focus on the things that you can, on the things that you are able to, because like that, you're not dwelling on, the things that you can't do, and focus on the things that you're realistically able to do. And for a lot of you girls out there, a lot of you moms out there, is just having some alone time. I crave alone time. I love having alone time because in the beginning of the day to my end of the day, it's just I need to unwind. And sometimes when we are on our phones or things like that, we're still kind of processing everything we're taking in from, our Facebook or, Instagram or TikTok. And sometimes you just need to be with your own self, with your own thoughts. And that can be kind of hard to be with that. So if you've ever tried that, trust me when I tell you, it can be a little unsettling the first few times, but just try it. Just breathe. When you try to be with your own self, thoughts will always be racing. I know for me, it took me a while to just be with myself, even if it's for 5 minutes, just sitting with yourself, breathing and just kind of taking it in and letting it out. So again, it doesn't have to be this glamorous, thing that you do. It's just really kind of helping you take in your day and really processing what you are doing and what you want to do, and just making the best of your situation. And again, it doesn't have to be expensive. It doesn't have to be hard. It's just you making better decisions, but you making it a priority first, because without that, none of this would happen. So I hope you enjoyed today's episode, and if you liked it, please share it out to anybody that you love, and I will talk to you guys in a couple of weeks. I won't be recording any episodes the following week just because it is our trip, and I will tell you all about it when we come back. So I hope you guys have a good one, and we'll talk to you next time. Bye.